I'm Fran,
I'm Tad.
and we're here from Intent Wandering, and we want to share with you what we did last week on our trip.
Yes, it was amazing for me.
Yes, because we went all the way from Martin Dies Jr. State Park in Texas,
Yes.
and we drove all the way south to South Pedro Island to stay there so that you could see
South Padre Island.
Oh my God, let's do that.
We've had
again.
so much problems with that name. We called it San Padre and San Pedro, and it's South Padre Island. Let's get it straight. Sorry, guys. Anyways, we had an issue with the name. Not to them. It's just we couldn't figure out the name. But we drove there. We stayed there overnight, and then we went to Boca Chica, which is as the crows flies from the KOA we were staying at. Is only 5.1 miles from South Padre Island, but you have to do a big loop to get to Boca Chica, where the SpaceX or space what is it called? Starbase or Stargate is at. It's impressive. I don't know how long they will allow for you to be able to drive up that close. I mean, we were very close. I'm gonna post some pictures. We were extremely close. I was amazed how close we were, because we're, being from Florida, you go to NASA, you don't get that close. This was very close. It was like, I'm gonna say 300 yards you could be at the inside of the gate, and there's the heavy rocket right there. So it was impressive.
But before we got there,
Yes.
we went to Galveston Island. We drove on the beach, or on the road that's on the beach.
Yeah.
And we went over a bridge, which was either go straight or turn around and go through Galveston. So we paid the $2 to go over the
Yeah.
bridge, and it was really a beautiful drive over some very still natural
Mm-hmm.
seashore.
It was worth the $2 because if not, you would have to drive completely in a big loop all the way around to get to the same place you're gonna end up after the bridge. It would have took us another 45 minutes probably just to get around.
And we got to see a lot of homes that were built on stilts.
Yeah.
That are now being built and that have been built over there on Galveston Island, which is really cool.
That coast has been hit heavily with hurricanes, so I suppose that they are starting to build them on stilts because of the water, the surge from the hurricanes. It gets that high, and we'll also post some pictures there. But it's pretty high. It's like a 2-story building, and it's really only a 1-story building, but underneath is either a garage or something like that. But
And then we went to Brazos Bend State Park, which is
Yes.
a really nice park because our campsite was massive.
yes,
And so
it's
we're really
huge.
separated from the other campers, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And they had some really nice trails and a picnic area on a
Yes.
lake.
We saw a lot of, not a lot, but there's a lot of nature around, so you were seeing it everywhere. We saw deer walking around in our backyard, basically. A lot of birds and everything, and the alligators. It was hilarious because we're from Florida, and nobody in Florida harasses an alligator. But in Texas, they have to post it for people not to harass the alligators.
It's really funny.
It's hilarious because a 15-foot alligator, I don't want to harass it, Stay away from them.
So it was a really nice park. And then from there we drove in the strongest wind we had ever driven through.
Yeah.
Consistently for like 2.5 hours,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was pretty strong.
It was 23 mile per hour, not gusts, but consistent wind.
The
and
gusts
it was
were up
scary.
in the 35 to 40 miles an hour, so every once in a while
But
your
it was
van would get
23
pushed.
on the Weather Channel. It said
Yeah.
23 mile per
Yeah.
hour winds, and it was really, really tough.
It was a front that was coming through, and from what I understand, there's another front that went through now. That was an armadillo.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting. Now we're at
No, from there we went to San Pedro Island. We stayed.
Yeah.
We stayed for 3 nights, and we got to see, like you said, Boca Chica.
yeah, SpaceX
And
the rocket.
SpaceX the rocket, and we did a few things and just hung out and drove on one of the inlets, the beach, right?
Yeah.
And we had a nice peaceful
And it's so
time.
funny. One of the things that I thought was pretty funny is that even though you are in Texas, there are checkpoints, and they will actually stop you and check and see if you have anyone other than the persons that are supposed to be in the van. So it was interesting because we're not used to that in Florida. We don't see that. So
Yeah, so we had to do
we're very
go
close to
through
the
one.
border. Boca Chica is a stone away from Mexico border, so it's pretty close.
So we ended up doing that, and that was really the whole week that we just spent
Yes,
here in Texas.
yes.
And I'm going to post the amount of days because we're still in Texas, only we started going north. So we'll share with our week with
You're not
you
gonna
next
tell them where
trips.
we're at?
Right now, where are we? I know we're in Junction, Texas, and the name of this park. Oh, South Llano River
South
State
Llano State Park.
Llano.
Llano.
State-
Llano.
It's Llano in English.
It's
Llano
Llano in
Spanish,
in
but
Spanish.
we live in America, so
Right,
it's in English.
right.
Anyways, that's where
There
we
he is.
are, and we have an armadillo
Armadillo's
right now
walking
in the
around
middle of our campground right here, campsite. He's smelling our cooler.
Hey.
He's trying to get in. He's a nosy guy.
Anyways, so we're in this park. It's a nice park. Today was extremely hot. It was 95.
We just
But at
sat
night
in.
it gets cool, so it'll be nice. Tonight it'll get down into the 50s. Early in the morning it'll get down to the 50s.
But tell me, Ted, how excited were you to go to space, to Starbase?
It's great because it's history being made right there. No time in history have we had a private company make rockets that can actually land themselves back. It's also opening up a lot of things for us. Technically, we're moving forward, which is great.
Well, I think he was so excited that he didn't complain once
Mhm.
about the 6-hour plus drive that it took us to drive there from Brazos Bend,
Yeah,
and
It was
he
a
didn't
long ways.
complain once about the extreme winds. So I know that it was something he was looking forward to seeing. So it was exciting. It was an hour
Yes.
drive from the campgrounds to see
Boca Chica. Yeah.
Boca Chica.
So if you're in the area, please go out and see that. Again, I don't know how long that's gonna be allowed. Eventually, they're gonna close that road, and you won't be able to get in
Yeah,
there.
I see that happening.
Yeah,
But it was really cool to go there.
yeah. It was fascinating to see it.
All right.
And to Elon, if you're watching this, keep it going, man.
Dad is your biggest
I'm a big fan.
pro, which he's not a fan of anybody or anything. So that's great. That's big deal.
Yes. So we'll see you guys later.
All right. Take care.